Just like you, I used to watch so many YouTube videos, watch so many courses, and read loads of books. But something that I always struggled with was actually implementing the advice and the principles they gave me. Even though they would tell you in such an easy manner, they'll tell you, okay, meditate because your brain can't focus for more than 5 seconds. So meditate to solve this. But I'll be thinking to myself, oh yeah, and I'll often forget about it. I will always watch these YouTube videos where they'll have one section on how to improve your life, a second section on how to improve your life, and a third section on another tactic to improve your life. So I'll watch one section, see like, oh yeah, I should probably do that. And then I don't do it. I'll watch the second section and I say, oh, I should probably do that. I don't do it. And the same with the third section. And I would just mindlessly consume, not really implementing much. Even though, yeah, my beliefs got changed, I wasn't really improving as much as I could. For example, I would learn the principle of visualizations and how when you visualize something in your mind, your body reacts that way. So why not visualize yourself being successful so you reenact yourself being successful? That's basically the principle of visualization. I'll watch a video telling me about visualization. I'll think like, oh yeah, I should probably implement that. And I don't. I'll watch another course telling me to do visualizations. And I still don't. And finally, after I literally went out and bought a whole book, Psycho-Cybernetics, about literally telling me that I should do visualizations, then I actually did it. After I had to literally course, YouTube video, book, then I finally implemented the advice. And an issue that I've noticed and that I found out is that we don't need more of how to, we need more of to do. Because I've watched probably hundreds and thousands of hours worth of YouTube content, of self-improvement, of mindsets, of beliefs, of relationship, of all of these things. That's like 100% of value, let's say. But I'll probably only implement 1% of it. But when you really think about it, all the knowledge is out there. You have books, you have courses, you have, well, YouTube videos are not the best source of knowledge, but you still have YouTube videos. Because think about it in this way. You know Iman, you probably know Iman. If you don't know, Iman's basically this very successful guy. He's 24 years old and is a multi-millionaire. But what he was doing as a 14-year-old was he used to read a book every single week. He used to meditate in the bathrooms of his school. And because he did that, he was able to get to his multi-million figures by the age of 24. Because he didn't really have any mentors. He didn't have YouTube videos telling him like what to exactly do. There wasn't really much YouTube videos about self-improvement back then. So he had to figure out everything on his own. But he actually took action instead of most people who just kind of sit there and watch YouTube videos, thinking it's productive. But instead you're just kind of consuming, not really taking any, you're not really changing your life much. But something that I've noticed is when you actually consume intentionally, when you read books, when you watch YouTube videos, when you watch courses intentionally and actually learn and benefit from them, then you really begin to stand out. Because when you really think about it, what are the most people doing? Most people are just consuming YouTube content, thinking it's productive because of watching self-improvement videos, but not really implementing any of the principles into their life. Because it's as simple as literally just gaining a piece of knowledge and actually using it. But I used to struggle with this. I used to get a piece of knowledge and then kind of forget about it, thinking that, oh, maybe I'll do it someday. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it maybe tomorrow. And I would not even benefit my life. I'll just watch another YouTube video feeling productive. And I was once reading this book called The Slight Edge, and it had the principle that we don't need more of how to. We need more philosophy. We need more of changing our beliefs because we already have all the knowledge. But it's about our beliefs, and the way we think is the way we act. So if we believe we're successful, we're going to act that way. If we believe we're a loser, if we believe we get a bad grade, then we're going to reenact that belief. So I kind of took that and made into this video that we don't need more of how to, but we need more of how to do. If it wasn't for the fact that I actually implemented that advice, because that same day I sat down on my computer chair, and even though I didn't want to do it, I started scripting a video. And I was thinking to myself, it's no more of how to do. I'm not going to watch another video on how to make YouTube videos. I'm going to actually do something and change my beliefs. So the idea was like, I'm going to script a video, so I ingrain into my mind that I'm a YouTuber. I'm ingraining the fact that I'm scripting a video. Oh, I'm a YouTuber now. Every single time I script a YouTube, it's kind of like adding a marble into this identity that I'm a YouTuber, that I'm someone who's making YouTube videos, making valuable content. So if it wasn't for the fact that I took action, this video probably wouldn't have been as powerful. I would have probably not made this video because I would have not had a single idea on what topic to make. So how do you actually learn and take action intentionally? And there's an issue YouTube videos and books and courses have, is that they give you so much knowledge. For example, they will tell you to do this, to do that, to do this, to also do this because of this. They'll give you like 5 different pieces of advice, but then you just not do any of them. But what I found out is you want to have this mindset. The mindset that I have is always, whenever I finish reading a chapter of a book, I need to have at least one. Just one. I don't need to overwhelm myself with all the 50 actionable steps I can do. I just focus on one. And I think about it and I actually improve my life by that 1%. Instead of focusing on all these 50 and not really improving my life. And then you can take this exact thing with YouTube videos is, whenever you watch a YouTube video, you should have one actionable step that you can take out of the video. Don't overwhelm yourself, because if you overwhelm yourself, you're not going to do it. Just pick one thing that you can improve from every single chapter, from every single video, from every single module from a course you watch. This makes you consume intentionally, because instead of just consuming mindlessly and just kind of thinking it's productive to be reading a book or watching a self-improvement video, you're actually taking action. Because when you really think about it, most people, they just kind of watch YouTube videos and thinking it's productive. They think, oh, I'm watching a self-improvement video and improving my life. But they just watch it and then forget everything after they finish watching it. When you really take action and you kind of just, literally, all I do is just write it down, what I'm going to do after I finish watching a YouTube video or after I finish reading a chapter of a book, and then I actually take action and implement it into my life. That means I'm actually focusing more on how can I improve my life than just focusing on consuming. Because when you really think about it, that's what most people are doing. They're just focusing on consuming instead of focusing on taking action. And taking action is what's actually going to bring you most of the success. Because if you're just sitting in your room, you're not going to gain anything, are you? If you're going to the gym, you're actually going to get the gains. You can't just watch a YouTube video on how to build muscle and get muscle. You need to actually go to the gym and lift some heavy weights. So I told you the kind of mindset you want to have. You want to have every single chapter should be an actionable step for you. Every single module from a course should be an actionable step for you. Every single YouTube video you watch should give you an actionable step. So you don't overwhelm yourself and you actually stand out from the crowds of losers who are just kind of mindlessly consuming. But there is another tactic that you can implement that's really taking this kind of mindset to the next level, and it is this two-step process that I've created. And after I tell you these two, I'll give you a bonus on how I always manage to take action. The first part of this method is learning from a YouTube video, from a course, from a book. So you're just reading it. But whenever you get an insight, whenever you get an actionable step you can think of, so for example, let's say you're reading, I don't know, the How to Win Friends and Influence People. You're reading it, and then you see that to be interested, you need to be interested. So your mind goes like, oh, to be interested, you need to be interested. Okay, so I could ask more questions tomorrow to my friend at school. So when you get that actionable step, write it down on a piece of paper, or actually write it down on iPhone notes. You don't have to overwhelm yourself with kind of writing it in a cute little Notion document. Literally just, as soon as you can, write it down on your phone so you kind of remember it. Because I used to have this issue when I'll be reading a book and I'll get like an insight, an actionable step, and I'll try to keep it in my mind while reading the book. But every single time I'll be reading the book and I'll have these things in the back of my head. I'll be reading the book, but I'll just keep forgetting every single sentence that I've learned because I'm trying to keep this thing in my mind. But I'm using kind of my phone as a second brain to just kind of write it down and forget about it. So simply whenever you finish watching a YouTube video or finish the chapter of a book, or just whenever you get an actionable step that you can think of, just quickly write it down, jot it down on your iPhone notes. Literally just make a new page, name it actionable steps, and just write down what you can do. And the second part of this method is whenever you have time, just review all the actionable steps you have. So for example, you might be reading a book, you might be watching a YouTube video, and you go to bed that same day, but the next day you wake up and you're about to go to school, and you quickly just read through the actionable steps you had, and you go like, oh, to be interested, to be interesting, you need to be interested. Also, I said I was going to ask more questions to my friend. Okay, I'm going to do that now. So you do that and you actually benefit from the knowledge you get from the book. Instead of kind of just reading the book, being like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then putting it down, sleeping on it, and then just forgetting about it the next day. You're actually improving compared to, like I said, most people they focus on consuming instead of actually taking action. But you're actually taking action now. And I know this sounds so autistically stupid when you really think about it. Just like learning something and actually doing what you learned. I know it sounds so dumb and so like retarded, but we don't do it. I didn't do it. I used to literally learn, read something, watch a YouTube video, watch a module, and then I would think like, oh, I should probably do that, and then my mind would just forget about it and I won't do it. But there's just a simple way you can always make sure you take action from YouTube videos, from courses, from books. And here are the two little bonuses that you can use to always, or how I always make sure I take action, and that is make it easy. Whenever you're trying to do something new, instead of focusing on the level 10 action, so for example, when you think about like how to win friends and influence people, and you get the idea that you need to ask more questions, instead of trying to literally ask questions to every single person you know, just ask one simple question to one of your friends. So whenever you're just chatting and you run out of things to say, you just ask him like, oh, what about your football match last week? Or, oh, what did you think of the science project? Or, oh, what do you have next? You always want to start at your level. So this happens with relationships as well. Because I remember this one time I was speaking to one of my friends who's really good with relationship and with girls and speaking to girls. He's always really confident. And I asked him, what would you tell someone who's not very confident around girls? And the exact words that he told me was that you need to start off at your level. You can't think that you'll be able to do level 10 when you go up to a girl, give her a compliment, and try to get her number when you've never spoken to a girl like properly outside of your school, outside of your work. Instead, you need to go back to level 1 and think to yourself, okay, what are the simple things I can do to level up? Okay, I can just ask her, I can just say hi to her. I could just ask, oh, what do we have next? For example, if you're at school, you can ask, what do we have next? Or you can just say hi to them. That's something that my friend also does. He always just says hi to girls. He then asks a question and then he kind of gets into a conversation with girls. He would just says hi. It's just a simple introduction that you say hi to them and then you speak to them and then you go so forth. And then after you say hi, he said to me, to go to the next level, you say hi and you give a compliment. So you go up to them, you say, hi, I found you really cute, and that's about it, really. You can just tell them that. And then level 3 is where you go to, like, you walk up to them confidently, you say hi, you give them a compliment, you tease them a little bit, and then you ask for the phone number, for their Instagram, for their phone number, whatever. And obviously I'm not at that level yet, but that's exactly the advice that I would follow. I would kind of level up until I get to that ideal level. But first we need to start off at level 1 to get to level 4. We can't use our skills from level 1 to get up to level 4. We can't just use the wooden sword to kill a dragon. We need the diamond sword to be able to kill the dragon. The second bonus is making it obvious. And this is something that I did once, and that is I needed to pick up my glasses after school one day. And before I went to school, I literally just wrote the words I on my hand. And that represented I needed to pick up my glasses after school. So whenever I'll pick up a pen at school, or whenever I'll scratch my nose or kind of scratch my hand or anything, I would just think, I will see that I in my hand and I'll see like, oh, I need to pick up my glasses after school. So as soon as I finish my last class, I saw it in my hand, I'll be like, oh, I need to go and pick up my glasses. And I didn't forget to do it. And that's because I had a cue. I had a E in my hand that just told me like, oh, I need to do this because this is reminding me to do it. So that's another part of making it obvious. And what you can do is, for example, let's say you've read How to Win Friends and Influence People and you have the idea to ask more questions, and you write in your hand AQ, which stands for ask question. So whenever you're going through your day, maybe some guy at school is going to ask you, oh, where do you have that? But whenever you're going through your day, you see that in your hand and you go like, oh, I should probably ask more questions to the guy I'm speaking to right now. So you benefit even more from How to Win Friends and Influence People, or you benefit more from YouTube videos. If you want to make insane progress in a self-improvement, I get basically all the answers to most questions that you have of how to level up in business, how to level up in learning, how to level up in all these things. I have a one-to-one mentorship that where you can learn from me, where I'm going to let you into a secret that I'm actually 14 years old. You might not see it in me, but if I stand up, you can see that I'm not that tall. I'm not as big as you probably thought. When you first see me, you might think I'm like 17, 18, 16, 15 years old. But I'm actually 14. I know, just like Iman, he was doing the exact same things I am doing right now. When he was 14, he was reading books. I'm 14 and I'm reading books. When he was 14, he was taking action. I'm 14 and I'm taking action. And if you want to join me, I have a second link in the description where you can join my community, where you can speak to me, where you can learn. You're basically getting inside of someone else's inner circle. Think about how far I'll be in 5 years from now, where I'm 19, and I'm giving such valuable advice. And this is just the beginning. So I'll be the second link in the description, but the first link in the description will be our one-to-one mentorship, where we talk about how to start a YouTube channel, how to monetize, how to make money, how to my personal self-promote. You're getting all the answers to all your questions. That'll be the first link in the description, coaching. The second link in the description will be my community. And I really hope you benefited from this video.